So Donald Trump's defense team is set to make their case when the New York civil fraud trial gavels back into session this morning in about an hour and a half from now. Donald Trump Jr. will be the first defense witness to take the stand today. He has denied any role in preparing financial statements when called by the state attorney general earlier this month in the fraud case against his family and their businesses. Joining me now is Seth Berenzweig, a white-collar defense attorney. Hi there, Seth. Thank you so much for your time. So how do you think today will be different from when Don Jr. testified on the stand recently?
Well, today is a very critical day, and it will be fundamentally different because the posture will be teed up in a very different direction. This is basically Don Jr. 2.0. This time, the defense is going to be able to take him with a much more friendly walk through the evidence, if you will. And this is really a very critical day for the defense overall. The Trump business empire is on life support. The Attorney General's office really wrapped up a very strong case. Their final witness was Ivanka Trump. She tied a lot of loose ends together in terms of the financial statements that were relied upon by Deutsche Bank. And today we have to keep in mind the central role of Don Jr. When Mr. Trump went to the White House with Ivanka, all of the authority went to Don Jr. He was in charge of the trust, he was in charge of the business empire, and he cannot come in and be the sarcastic victim. He has to project strength, he has to demonstrate that there was a reasonable, rational business process, and to show that these financial statements, yes, he relied upon specialists, but that there is a reasonable explanation and valuation. He has to resuscitate this case because really the entire business prospect of the business brand hangs in the balance.
Okay, so let's be clear. Before the trial, we know that the judge rendered this partial summary judgment and ruled that Trump and his sons and his business engaged in persistent and repeated fraud by inflating the value of assets on financial statements. So that's already been ruled on. So what exactly is the defense trying to do at this point?
Well, it's a very difficult uphill battle because you're right. On partial summary judgment, the Attorney General's office already won that. But one of the key defense plays is going to be that the damages as a result of this should be minimal and that the business should not be broken up and thrust into receivership because there were ultimately no damages that were suffered by the financial institutions. They got paid back the loan, they got paid back the interest, and therefore they're going to try to have a no harm, no foul defense. The problem with that is that because of the financial statements at issue, instead of going through the regular commercial lending practice of Deutsche Bank, they went through the private wealth management division. That was a much more favorable interest rate, and those are the alleged damages. So it's really going to be a very difficult task. There's a huge burden on the shoulders of Don Jr., and it's really difficult to see how he's going to be able to find a path through this, but that's going to be the defense. He has to be able to show control and strength, and right now it's difficult to see a path forward. If they can't work this out, this business will be thrust into receivership, and then the crown jewel of the entire business brand could get blown up.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Seth Berenzweig, appreciate your analysis. Thank you.